Welcome back to Sunrise. I'm here with Sean from Cutthroat Anglers. And now, at Cutthroat, you guys obviously have a wealth of knowledge about fishing. And also, you have some sweet fishing hats, which I must say, Sean, I really like your hat this morning.
Since it was our last interview, I figured I'd wear a hat.
I really like it.
I've been told not to, but...
You know what? I dig it. I think you should do it all the time. Just break those rules. And tell me what's going on with the fish right now. I would like to say that I wish I knew exactly what was happening, but specifically, let's just pick a fish, like the brown trout. What's going on with those guys?
Well, they're gearing up to spawn.
Really?
Rainbow trout spawn in the spring, brown trout in the fall.
Okay.
So an easy way to remember, spring, colorful, rainbow, fall, leaves turn, brown trout. So everyone asks when they...
I like that.
When they spawn. Basically, we just want to inform people. We get a lot of calls because when the trout are getting ready to spawn, they get very aggressive, so they're fairly easy to catch. They're very territorial, but we want to encourage people when they are fishing for spawning fish, because the fish, their mind is set on, we need to reproduce. They're not set on feeding, so they have their what they call reds, and it's their spawning beds, and it basically looks like if you took some gravel and burrowed little holes in them, and that's where the fish lay their eggs. So we want to encourage people when they are fishing, if they see the reds, the spawning beds, to stay clear of them, don't step on them. Because it's real important, obviously, that our fish reproduce and we have more native fish in the river system, and we don't have to depend on stockings every year. So in our newsletter that's going to come out next week, we're also going to give a few pointers on how to fish, if you're going to fish for spawning fish, how to do it with the least amount of impact on them.
Okay.
And you know, the basics are pretty common sense. If you see a lot of spawning beds, you don't step on them. When you catch a spawning fish, you want to get them back in the river as quickly as possible.
So just some good point. I like that. I like that you're, making sure that you're going to have plenty of fish for next season to catch. And then, okay, I've heard about these kokanee salmon. And first of all, how do you even fish for those guys, and how does it work up here?
Well, they come out of Green Mountain Reservoir, and they make their way all the way up, some years even all the way up into town.
Wow.
I believe I heard a story that a fish was in the city's water drain or something. A kokanee salmon got wedged in.
Wow. Okay.
As the year progresses, generally they start making their way 8, 9 miles, 10 miles up from Green Mountain Reservoir about the second week of October. Right now they're sort of sitting, gearing up to make their way up the river to reproduce, which what salmon do. They go to lakes or oceans, and then when they're ready to reproduce, they go back into the river system. So they're making their way up the river. Right now they're right near the inlet, so if you drive over by Green Mountain Reservoir, you'll see quite a few people out there fishing for them. And the way to fish for them is it's pretty easy. They're very aggressive fish, and when you find them, they're going to be in gigantic schools. You generally won't find 1 or 2. You'll see 60 or 70, and they're real fun to catch. You basically want to use about any fly you have that has a bit of flash to it, that's annoying looking, just to make them mad. Because like with the brown trout, they get very territorial when they're ready to spawn. So it's definitely fun. Once you find them, you can sit there all day, pull up a lawn chair, get a case of beer, catch 30, 40, 50 of them.
Wow.
They actually sit up right behind my house, usually around the second week of October. So it's fun. They jump, they flap around. It's a good time. So
it sounds really exciting.
Yeah,
so
if you've never done it, it's definitely it's a blast. It's not something I'd want to do every single day, but
to go out and feel really successful with catching fish, it sounds like a great time,
yeah.
Which I'm totally into. So, Sean, we started kind of running out of time a little bit on the show, but I know that you guys continue fishing year-round, and if people want to find out more about, going out and catching salmon, or how you fly fish in the winter, or if they have questions, how do they find out more about you guys?
Well, the best way is probably to go to the website, fishcolorado.com.
Okay.
Well, actually, the best way would be to stop into our shop, but if you don't have the means to make it over, check out the website, give us a call, 970-262-2878. Shoot us an email, shoot us a page, send a messenger pigeon. Anyway, there's many ways to contact nowadays. So I think we got our contact on the bottom of the screen.
Okay.
Yeah, stop by. We've got a few things on sale now. We've got some women's outerwear. We've got some waders. So
All right. Well,
Come
this
see
is one of my favorite new things to do is to hang out at Cutthroat and to find out more about fishing from you guys. So if you've just been even interested in fly fishing, really stop on in and say hello. These guys are fun to hang out with, and I like your hats a lot. All right, we have to take another quick break here on Summit Sunrise. We still have more to come, so don't go away.